Thank you, Nancy. Thank you. You are live and recording.
And now for the moment everyone's been waiting for. Today's City of Albany Industrial Development Agency Finance Committee meeting. My name is Darius Schonfart, chair of the committee. We have quorum in place today with Anthony Gaddy, Elizabeth Staubach, John Maxwell, and myself. First order of business, as always, I call for a motion to waive the reading of the minutes and accept them as presented in the materials.
Sure.
Any comments, deletions, additions? All those in favor? Aye. We have no report from the chief financial officer today, so we'll go directly into unfinished business. Oh, okay, yes. South End Second Ave.
Sorry. So the project at hand is South End Second Ave LLC. We did introduce this project at the July finance and have discussed it at the board and finance meeting then. This project applicant is jointly owned and managed by MDG R&Y Development Owners LLC and Novus Albany South End LLC. This project is a scatter site located on Broad Street, Clinton Street, South Hill Street, Second Ave, and Third Ave. The project involves the redevelopment of 64 vacant and tax exempt parcels into 160 housing, all totaling approximately 159,000 square feet of residential space, 1,600 square feet of commercial space, and approximately 26,000 square feet of common area. The residential units will serve income qualifying residents between 50 and 8% of the area median income. Staff did conduct a in-depth cost benefit analysis, which I'll provide an overview of. So in theory, the status quo taxes for this project would be $1,095,736. I said in theory because currently these parcels are tax exempt, so that number is used for comparative purposes only, and with no project, the parcels we pay zero in taxes. The anticipated pilot payments for this project are $4,560,988, resulting in a net benefit of $3,465,250. The current cumulative value of the property is $768,500. And the anticipated future value for the city assessor is $11,820,000, resulting in a net increase of $11,051,500. The estimated investment for this project is $97,371,504. I will note that if the committee chooses to enter a executive session, we will discuss the financials of the project further. Additionally, this project is committed to the creation of 100 construction jobs and 2 full-time permanent jobs. Staff engaged with CDRPC to conduct an impact analysis of the project and its impact. For temporary construction jobs, the total output is expected to be $93,975,045, with a combination of direct, indirect, and fixed effects. For permanent jobs, the total output is expected to be approximately $368,127. In terms of the pilot, the applicant is requesting a 30-year 5% shelter rent pilot, which is a deviation from data policy. In addition, the applicant is requesting that the commercial space be included within the shelter rent pilot. As this is a deviation from our typical policy, we engaged with WCHA to conduct a third-party review of the request and the project's financials. The executive summary of that review is included in your packets, and the full memo has been distributed to the committee prior to the meeting. WCHA found that the request is reasonable given the project's economics and implementation considerations. In total, the value of tax exemptions is estimated to be approximately $9,043,340. Now I will just quickly, run through the framework for this project. As this is a affordable housing project and it was evaluated outside the framework. This is just for comparative purposes only, but this project would have theoretically received a point for being in this stress census tract, a vacancy census tract, and a neighborhood plan, which is the South End Strategic Plan. It would also have received a point for being tax exempt and vacant. The project would receive 2 points for the total estimated 100 construction jobs and 3 points for the $97.37 million investment. And the project also meets the baseline requirements for all bigger projects. So we do have some representatives from the project with us today, if the committee has any questions for them.
Anybody have any questions? I would just note, thank you for the explanation on the floor of these projects, that these are all vacant parcels, that it all factored exempt. With the land bank, this is exactly what the land bank was created for, to do, so. Obviously, I'm in favor of the project. Also, the pro forma that we've been provided shows a very slim profit margin for for these properties. Despite, you know, person part of it, despite the costs they're going with building it. And these are income determined, income determined housing. This is income determined housing, so. Does anybody else have any other questions? Then I would ask for a motion for a positive recommendation. For the approving resolution for next week. So move. Second? Second.
Is he,
John?
Tony's not on.
Oh.
Just.
No, he is.
Oh, you?
Yeah.
I thought you said, oh.
That was my bad.
Sorry, sorry.
Yes, you're good. Your motion still remains.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Sorry about that.
I'm not on governance, which I get confused sometimes too.
John seconded, any other comments? All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Go forth and build. All right. Thank you. Next order of business is the drafted budget for next year. It's been provided in our materials. Thank you.
Thank you.
One thing, sir.
Thank you, Chair. Respectfully request the committee members turn their attention to pages 73 and 74 in the materials, and I'd like to provide an overview of the proposed 2026 budget for the City of Albany Benefit Development Agency. As of 12/31/25, we project an ending cash balance of approximately 4.17 million. Looking ahead to 2026, from an operating perspective, the agency is budgeting for a deficit of about 64,500. On the revenue side, total income is expected to be just over 1.07 million. Most of this is created from fee revenue, estimated at approximately 1 million, which assumes 5 project closings next year. Other revenue includes about $20,000 from the low income housing tax credit fee, $35,000 in interest income, which resulted from a recent renegotiation in rate structure from our primary cash management bank, and $40,000 in revenue from the CRC. More to come on that. Expenses in 26 are budgeted approximately 1.14 million, and most categories remain the same as the prior year with a few specific adjustments. The management contract is tentatively budgeted for 695,000. Should be noted that is a 10% increase over the prior fiscal year, but somewhat less than the 28% increase that was instituted in 2022. Management feels that this intentional structured increase is more reflective of the operations that we expected this year.
So we wanted to note for the record that that fee has remained flat since that 2022 increase. And then based on projected revenues this year, that are, we had some unanticipated projects compared to when we did the budget last year, so ending better than.
That's right. We also have projected pretty conservatively with our agency fee structure for next year. There's a lot of unknowns in terms of timing with some of the larger scale redevelopment projects here downtown that we expect will eventually need the assistance of this agency, but we're just not sure what calendar year. So while we are showing a proposed slight deficit for 2026, there's a high probability that that is not the case, and we're in plus territory. So we felt that that 10% increase coupled with that fact and the fact that we haven't increased that fee in a number of years was the appropriate time to do so.
Great.
Continuing on, audit expenses are set for 17,000. Insurance is budgeted at 3,000. The sublease with the community center is budgeted just over 74,500, and professional services fees remain steady at 24,000. Even with a modest deficit, the agency's financial position remains strong. By the end of 2026, the IDA is projected to hold an cash balance of about 4.3 million, which represents reserve equal to roughly 4 years of operating expenses at current levels. In summary, while we were projecting a small operating deficit for 26, the agency continues to maintain solid financial positions for stability and flexibility in the coming years.
Great.
One other item, we ask you to please supplement me if I miss anything. One of the other changes you'll see, and it's not necessarily a high change from a dollar value standpoint. In the past, one of the three contract for services that is in existence between CAC, IDA, and CRC is between the CRC and the IDA. And that has been in or around a $20,000 fee flowing from the CRC to the IDA for administrative purposes in the past. Based on a number of factors, the least of which is the project that will be before the CRC shortly, we expect increased grant activity. So we're working with Nadine, Chris Canada, and their office to find the best mechanism to reimburse Capitalize Albany for grant administration. So what we would like direction on the board from committee from specifically today is that dollar value, if you feel that is appropriate, an increase from 20 to 40. And we plan to come back with some insight from Hutch and Russ on, is that contract staying between the CRC and the IDA, or is that now shifting between the CRC and CAC, but directly? So that's something that we will need to shore up in the coming days prior to posting the draft budget at City Hall. So stay tuned there.
Just
Yeah.
further expanding on that, the last 9 years, the average has been 27,000.
Okay.
It's ranged from 18 all the way up to almost 51.
Okay.
So we feel that this reversion to somewhat of a norm represents the expected grant activity and associated work effort that's going to result in 2026. So in that context, while it is a material jump year over year relative to the last decade, it's more in line with what we would expect otherwise.
Okay. Yeah, I have no objection to that. 40. All right, anything further? Then I would ask for a motion for positive recommendation for the 2026 budget to the board as a whole. Do I have a motion? Second, John.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. All right. Budget moves forward. Agency update.
I think just a quick update that the MOU between the agency and 1211 Western Ave Property Associates was fully executed by both parties and is now live. We will be working through the specific pieces of that agreement that need staff attention, namely the construction monitor, and we'll be coming back to this body with continued updates on that status.
Did the Times Union reach out to anybody here before they wrote that editorial that was partially informed? They reach out to us for comment or not? No. Okay, thank you. I suspected as much. Okay, clients update. Insurance
Sure.
policy.
Yes, that's awesome. Second time in my tenure, we're happy to report that the Directors and Officers Insurance Policy was renewed without issue. With consultations with our external financial insurance broker, coverage was reviewed, and we are happy to report back that it is adequate and appropriate.
Great. You don't need a motion, we just go with it.
Noting the annual review.
Acknowledged. Like,
Congratulations.
You for two.
Strike price.
There we go.
I don't think I can.
Third year after, third time after was your bonus.
All right. Any other business? Hearing none, ask for motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second. All those in favor? Aye. We sit adjourned.